Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Nightmare Mode run. Hope you're all doing well. Today I'm playing a fun and really challenging and interesting run, Hunter, with the new Railgun. This weapon interacts in a really interesting way with the Hunter. It wants you to have increased range, which the Hunter gets, but it scales off of dodge, which is relatively bad for the Hunter to buy, and also is expensive to upgrade, and the Hunter's reduced economy without the ability to use harvesting makes it harder to get your railguns fully upgraded. So it's a really interesting weapon interaction, and I want to kind of limit test the railgun because it's such a cool weapon. I want to see how strong it is on lots of different types of characters. Since the Hunter can't use harvesting, your harvesting modifiers are reduced by 100%. We're going to look for dodge and attack speed early. Dodge, of course, increases the damage of our railguns, so we want it more than most other things. And railgun scales off of attack speed more than it scales off of basically anything else, because it's a very slow-firing weapon that needs you to not get hit, so having additional attack speed makes that easier. Ugly Tooth and Broken Mouth, I don't really need either of these, I think. I am happy to leave Broken Mouth in the pool, but I'm looking for early economy items, things like bags. We'll take a railgun here. I will leave Beanie in the pool, because I will eventually want more movement speed, even though it costs me 0.6 damage with the Hunter's passive conversion of range into damage. Claw Tree, we buy crit chance at an increased rate, but we really don't ever want to reduce our HP when we start with low health. So we're gonna just ban Claw Tree. Then we found two very solid items there. Luck is one of the ways we can actually increase our economy on this character, since you can't buy harvesting. You can potentially get more crate drops and higher level items by increasing your luck. And Gentle Alien is the other way you can directly increase your economy by killing more enemies. Had to leave a lot of materials on the ground there in order to get all the kills. I will take a baby elephant for 7. I think it's not going to be a huge component of our damage output, but I think it's worth spending 7 on early. And then we're going to roll here and take 3 more dodge. We'll buy a railgun, and then I'll reroll and lock another railgun. Finding 5 in so few rerolls is actually very lucky. It's hard to get a lot of railguns because it's a weapon that it has 2 weapon tags and is a gun, which is the largest weapon tag in the game. So you're less likely to find it when rerolling for it specifically than for other weapons, which is kind of a hidden debuff to this weapon because it's a weapon that really wants you to get lots of levels on it, but since it's a little harder to find, you're less likely to get lots of levels. Here, I will continue to boost my dodge, which increases the base damage of my railguns, and although we only get 0.8, we get 80% ranged damage scaling at the beginning. I'm just going to take 3 ranged damage because we got a level 3 upgrade here. I could take some movement speed as well, but although you normally prefer other stats over buying ranged damage on the railgun, when you get a bunch of ranged damage for cheap, you're going to take it. We'll take Gentle Alien here, and then I'll take Propeller Hat, and I will lock Peaceful Bee. This is damage positive on the railgun, because we get 1.3 damage from the dodge and lose 0.8 from the range damage, and then that ratio gets better as we level up the railguns as well. But also because dodge, when you're building it, you just want as much of it as possible, since each point of dodge makes each future point of dodge better. Now, dodge is relatively weak on the Hunter, because dodge effectively multiplies your maximum HP, and the Hunter buys max HP at a reduced rate, so you're often going to not get as much value out of dodge as other characters do. But, which is one of the reasons that Railgun, I think, is not the, ideal weapon for this character. I could also avoid getting Curse. Maybe I should, but I think we can have enough damage that we can kill cursed enemies. I could take 5% crit chance on the Hunter. We get slightly increased crit ratio, but our railguns don't have good critical damage until they level up. They start with 1.5, and that increases, but buying crit chance, I think, is worse than rolling for dodge or attack speed here, and I will take attack speed over dodge at this point. A level 2 Railgun is an excellent find. We'll take a Peaceful Bee. And this might be one of the rare spots where Gummy Berserker is a purchasable item. This is usually, I think, overall the worst item in the game. But for the Hunter, it gets 2.5% extra damage, which isn't amazing, but is relevant. And attack speed and range are both really important to Railguns, so I think we actually will be buying a Gummy Berserker, something you're not going to see me say very often. Here I'm also going to lock the Goat Skull in order to ban it and get a free reroll, because we're buying the other 3 items. One of the things I really like about Railgun is it makes you evaluate stats differently, like that, where since you intend never to get hit, armor is still important, but less critical than it is for most characters, and range and attack speed matter so much more that an item like Gummy Berserker is actually a little more interesting when range is an important stat for you. Basically because since you lose your damage bonus when you get hit, regardless of how much damage you take, you almost always lose a run on the way. You are very likely to die after taking 1 hit with Railgun, because your damage goes away and then you just get overwhelmed by enemies. You need to think more about offense and much less about defense than a normal character. I'll take the Mushroom because if we do get hit, I still want to be able to heal back up. And then, although we get 4.5 damage from the range, I'm going to take Dodge because it increases my base damage, so that matters a little more here. I'm just going to take the level 2 upgrade and buy some speed. And we'll buy Railgun, Broken Mouth, again, to get out of one-shot range, and then we'll ban Goat Skull, take our reroll. Alright, Bean Teacher is one of the ways that we can actually increase our economy. XP gain and luck are the Hunter's boosts to economy. So we're very happy to see one of those this early. I will buy a Lemonade, and we'll ban Boxing Glove, and then I'm going to reroll. I'll take a Pearl as well. Fresh Meat, I think I'm just going to ban, and then I'm going to reroll again. If I'm buying a Pearl, I'm more incentivized to build luck, so maybe I do actually want to build a bunch of baby elephants. And then I could reroll for 9. Our last item here, our last shop slot here, is guaranteed to be a weapon, because we're on wave 5. So I could reroll for 9 to try to find another Railgun. I think with 3 items locked, it's pretty expensive to do that, so I'm going to avoid doing that. So now I'm a little more interested in building a lot of luck on this character, because we are going to have double Baby Elephant. We're going to have Pearl, which will increase our damage from luck. Oops, I also need to not walk into enemy attacks. I have enjoyed playing with projectiles on every wave in Nightmare mode, which is now optional. The default is they only show up on some waves. But I don't like the randomness of how much easier some runs get when you don't get projectiles on a difficult wave. So I prefer just having it be hard all the time. Here I'm going to take 30 range. No, I'm just going to take 8% damage. Buying 3 damage, I don't think it's worth getting the range just for the 3 damage. All right, nice. Well, I didn't reroll, but we still got an extra Railgun. Really important to level those up. And then we'll take a Bean Teacher as well. And then I will reroll once for 6. Beanie and Hedgehog, I have enough movement speed at this point, and buying 0.8 of a ranged damage, 0.8 of a damage for all of my weapons with our 80% range scaling is pretty bad. So I'm just going to ban the Hedgehog. Beanie I'll leave in the pool, and I'm going to save my last 2 bans for free rerolls later on. But getting the 50% XP gain is really good. Not only does that give us, obviously, more stats from leveling up, it also gives us the free HP from leveling up, which, while we get less of it than other characters, because we're playing the Hunter, it's more important, because we need to be out of one-shot range. Trying to pick up a bunch of the doubled materials, because I left a lot on the ground last wave. I would love baby geckos, stuff like that, especially to go with our double baby elephant. Those would be really nice pickups here. Still leaving a lot of materials on the ground. All right, we'll get to positive armor, because I definitely need to do that. I could take 9 max HP, because we're sitting on 18, but I think I'm going to roll for dodge or attack speed. And I'll roll again, and I'll take 9% dodge to increase the base damage of my railguns. Here, we'll take Pearl, Coffee, and Baby Elephant. And although Plant is fine, I could also just ban it and see 4 new items. So let's just do that. And then Banner is great for us. I'm going to roll again here. And Baby Squid is somewhat interesting. It's an item that can give me a bunch of healing, especially because we already have extra level ups. So if I do take a hit, this will provide more healing than we need. So I think I will invest in Baby Squid, and then I'm going to basically not invest in any regeneration other than that. Just consumable healing and the Baby Squid should be enough to get back to full health after we do take a hit. One of the items I'm looking for the most is Tardigrade, because that can protect the damage bonus of our railguns. And it does so reliably, unlike dodge. Kill that. Loot alien. Since I've started building Curse, I definitely want to kill the Curse alien, so we gotta break the blobfish open and get that out of there. Blobfish is a deeply maligned creature because the image that you have in your head of a blobfish is one that explosively decompressed after having been brought up from the deep sea. They're actually quite pretty in real life. I could take, or when they're alive, you know. I could take a lighthouse here that could potentially give me some decent investment into engineering if I find a couple structures. I could also maybe use nail if I find nail. On the other hand, 40 materials is a lot to spend on something that does currently nothing at all. So while lighthouse is cool, I think we're just going to recycle it. I'm definitely taking 20 luck here. 10% attack speed is also really nice, but we have 3 items that scale with luck already, so I really do want to boost that. And then we'll buy these things. I'm just going to ban Whetstone. We're not going to build Lifesteal because I already committed to just using Baby Squid and consumable healing for any healing I might need. And then I'm going to do some re-rolling. I'll take a lemonade, we'll take more luck, and we'll take another baby elephant. Once I have 3 of these and a bunch of extra luck, it actually becomes a pretty significant component of our damage, which I really was not expecting to go that direction with this weapon setup and character setup, but you obviously play the shops that the game gives you. Ideally, you don't walk into a bunch of attacks, though. Resetting my damage bonus there was really rough because it's going to make it much slower to kill the slashers, and it means that I'm likely to take more damage again. I mean, once you start getting hit on the railgun, you're going to keep getting hit, and then that puts you in a really bad spot. This is why attack speed is so important for this weapon, to make sure that you can hit enemies before they get to you. Alright, that guy spawning cursed directly next to me really was rough. But I think we'll survive. I'm just not going to be able to pick up a bunch of materials. I'll take the mirror here, and then I need more attack speed, and I could take 6 max HP, but let's start buying some crit chance. We are the hunter, so we do get doubled, or not doubled, we get 25% more crit chance. We have doubled items here. Of the mirrored items, I want to double the Shady Potion, but I think more importantly, I need to buy Railgun. So do I save my mirror for next wave, or do I just buy double Baby Elephant or something like that? I think I'll just save the mirror, because doubling the Shady Potion is going to be way better. Really hoping to find a baby gecko or something like that. What a weird run. We've ended up, like, not buying items we can afford, which is something that you almost never do. We've ended up transitioning fully into a luck-based damage build on the hunter, which is extremely rare. I'm consistently resetting my damage by getting hit on the railgun, which is also very bad normally. But we've somehow survived, even though I took 3 hits last wave, which is also very unlikely. Whoops. Alright, reset my damage there, and so I am probably going to take a bunch more hits in the rest of this wave. I need to take 1 hit here in order to get out, and we did get a lucky dodge there, a 30% dodge, but we made it. Take a baby elephant, and then I will re-roll. I'm gonna roll again here. Okay, good. 20% attack speed, that's what I need, and then 9% more dodge. That's perfect. Then we can double our Shady Potion. We can buy a 4th baby elephant. We can buy another railgun. Finally got some pickup radius as well. Piggy bank, we are not strong enough to save money from wave to wave, so we definitely can't use piggy bank. And then I will buy another gummy berserker. I'm gonna need more armor, of course, because when I do take a hit, I don't want it to be lethal, but we are increasing our percent damage and increasing our attack speed when I buy that. I'll buy railgun, I'll buy jerky, and I'll take helmet as well. I do not know if I'm gonna make it through this run, because I've spent a lot of money on, you know, baby elephants and stuff that just are not particularly strong right now and are not a core part of this character's plan. But it is just really interesting to see how this run has gone so far. I'm enjoying that a lot. Our, like, number 1 item that we want is Sift's Relic. Loot Worm would be very similar in terms of powering us up. Baby geckos would be great. Obviously, at this point, we have a ton of luck, so more pearls and cyber balls, stuff like that would be excellent. This wave has not been so bad, but that's because I haven't taken a hit yet. And we were definitely falling behind a bit. Yeah, I do need a little more movement speed. It does hurt my luck, though, to buy the fin, but I think it is still worth buying, and then we'll pick up 15 more attack speed. And I'm going to buy some more damage. We'll pick up both of these. We'll definitely take Feather. Is Fairy worth buying? It probably is. Just a bunch of regen, and Snail might make it easier to dodge, but I think I need other stuff more. I don't need another fin. I'm going to reroll here, and I think we'll pass on the knot. I'm going to roll one more time. Okay, we got a baby gecko, but let's see if we can actually make it through this elite fight. This is what I was really worried about, because obviously against elites, you're fairly likely to just take damage. And so it can be really challenging to maintain your railgun bonus. So I'm trying to position myself where I won't take hits, but I am still damaging the elite. I also need to kill the cursed hatchers. Okay, that dodge probably saved me. I think if we don't get that percent dodge there, then I do just die to the sheer health that's on the field right now. With my damage output lowered, we just would not be able to kill everything. But I was very worried about this elite wave, and it looks like we've made it through intact so far. Thanks to a lucky percent dodge, which never feels good to rely on percent chance to save you, but that is the character we're playing. Okay, double cute monkey and explosive turret, completely useless to us. I'm just going to recycle it. It's just never going to do enough damage. We'll take more dodge here, and then here's a spot where, as the hunter, we can just invest in 45 range, because it's not really up against anything else. Coral, I do want more curse. When you start buying curse, of course, you want more. So I guess I'll buy that, and if I do get hit, I can maybe stand still. I'll take a warrior helmet. That'll prevent me from dying. I don't think we need another baby squid. All right, this is a shop. Well, Seashell is incredible for us. Hunting trophy works very well with the fact that we're the hunter. We don't currently have a lot of crit chance, but we can buy more easily. And that is a way to actually increase our economy. But these pufferfish, the enhanced pufferfish are going to be really hard to avoid taking hits from, because they spit out a lot of projectiles. One of the items I would love the most in this spot would be if we could get a couple of the jelly shields. And have to position where I'm not just getting hit by the pufferfish projectiles. So we're doing very small movements, basically. And this is why it's so important to get extra pickup radius, so that I can focus on dodging and still pick up a decent number of the materials on the ground, though obviously we left a ton. We'll recycle the white flag here. We'll take 6 more dodge. And, okay, cursed pile of books is great. Now, which of these do I want? I might need the seashell, because I could buy hunting trophy and pile of books, and that would be a lot of money next wave. But the question is, do I need the seashell in order to survive the horde wave? And I think the answer is yes, but we'll lock the pile of books here. Being able to actually clear lots of enemies is otherwise going to be pretty difficult. And seashell gives me AoE damage, effectively, which is going to let me fight the horde wave more easily. Especially because we're very likely to get kind of pinned in the corner at some point by the horde wave. Just the number of enemies coming from different directions will be too much to deal with. And seashell is really good when the enemies are all coming from the same direction and you have piercing shots. It's just going to go through a lot of the incoming attacks. Yeah, very glad I bought the seashell here. Without it, we would not be anywhere near as comfortable this wave. So obviously we gave up a lot of money to not buy a hunting trophy, but that was pretty necessary, I think. I do need another max HP, because right now my max HP is low enough that I will get one shot, though I'll still buy the leather vest. And do I just want to take 3 armor? I think I'm going to roll for max HP or dodge or attack speed, and I'll take a max health upgrade just to get out of one-shot range. And then here I'm going to buy these items. Warrior helmet will also help me stay out of one-shot range, and I think I do need it over the railgun, and then I'll roll here. Ritual we can pass on. I will take another warrior helmet, and we'll take a feather. You want to buy dodge over cap on the railgun, of course, because it still scales your weapon damage, even if you're not getting any actual extra dodge. Ghost outfit would be an incredible find. Okay, that's a lot of lampreys, and the enhanced hackers are also, of course, really scary. So I need to try not to kill, like I just did, I need to try not to kill all of the enhanced blobfish at once. Because that can just put too much stuff on the map for my weapons to manage to kill in time. But I would say we're doing pretty well still here. Staying ahead of the wave currently, which is not necessarily easy to do. Yeah, we'll take even more attack speed. We just want as much as we can get. I could take crit chance to go with my hunting trophy, but attack speed is more important. I will combine, we'll buy a railgun, and then I'll buy all of these items, but I guess we'll buy feather first. Roll here, I'll take a helmet, and I'm going to roll again. And do I want another scar? It costs me damage, or no, we don't have enough XP gain currently. Or we only have the 1 XP gain item, and I've bought a couple feathers. So I will buy scar. It gives me a regen, which isn't, you know, super important, but is relevant. The enhanced stargazers on wave 16 in the darkness are pretty scary here as well, because it's going to be very hard to know whether I'm killing the stargazers or killing the houses and getting the extra damage. And things like Or no, this isn't the enhanced Stargazer wave. This is the enhanced Walrus wave. Still learning all the waves, of course, because the new enemies are still relatively new. Oh, nice. That loot alien popped over for a visit, so we could actually clear it out. I'm going to try to go around the edges of the map here because we have 16, so a bunch of curse aliens spawn at the edges of the map, and we still want to boost our curse. And we actually picked up most of the materials that wave. Yeah, I'll take the Clockwork Wasp just to boost my move speed. Blindfold is perfect. We need crit chance. We need dodge. I'll take 20 luck here, and that increases my damage and everything. Fishhook will still be good at this point, I think. Even if we only get one cursed item out of it, it's still really nice. Fruit Basket, I think we can pass on. Saltwater, I'll lock the Saltwater just for the attack speed. No, that doesn't make sense. I'm going to pass on all this stuff. Even if it gets cursed, it's just not very good. I really don't want to lose attack speed, so scope is not in scope for this run. And then we're going to roll again. Okay, nice. Silver Bullet is perfect. If that gets cursed, that gives us a lot of extra value. All right, this wave, also a darkness wave. I don't actually remember what enemies show up wave 17. This might be the enhanced... Yeah, this is the enhanced Stargazer wave. So, I do need to be a little careful about that, because those guys go really fast and do a ton of damage and have a ton of health. Alright, taking that hit was awful. That's reset my damage bonus. And that's going to make it really hard not to die to the buffed aliens here. Gonna kind of hide in the corner for the rest of the wave, because I can't really see what I'm shooting at, and that is making it hard to dodge. The loot alien spawning on top of me was pretty nice of it, though. So obviously we left a lot of materials on the ground, but we survived, which is the important thing. I guess I'll take Bone Dice. I will recycle Boiling Water. It does give me a regen from Fairy, but I would rather have 25 materials. And we'll take the Blindfold. And then I'll take Silver Bullet. Nothing got cursed, of course. Oh, I forgot how little money I had. So I should have obviously bought Silver Bullet going into the Elite Wave. That's pretty terrible. Black Flag, I'm going to pass on because we would only have it for one wave anyways. I'm going to roll a couple times here. I'll take an Insanity, and then I will lock the Metal. I can't believe I just didn't buy Silver Bullet going into an Elite Wave. Embarrassing. Even though it cost me crit chance, Metal is still too good to pass here. Okay, I need to kill this Stargazer tower. Nope, I let the thing spawn, but we killed the Elite. So, not buying the Silver Bullet didn't hurt too badly, because we still killed the Elite in a reasonable time frame. Basically, what happened there was I was just on autopilot and forgot that last wave I didn't pick up any materials, and so I expected I would just be able to buy both, but had not gotten enough money in the previous wave. So I just needed to pay attention a little better to how much I actually had in the bank. Story of my life, right? Okay, so Hourglass, we will have an Elite again. We would be 1 health and fighting the Elite. Now, I will be able to buy the Silver Bullet this time. I'm going to take the Hourglass. If I die, it's funny. And we do have a lot of dodge. We should hopefully be able to do enough damage. Let's reroll here, and I'll take 10% more attack speed to kill the Elite faster. Take the Silver Bullet. Once again, we have failed to curse anything with Fishhook, which is now at 20% pity bonus. Do I want the eye patch or the metal? The eye patch will help me kill the Elite a little faster, which matters because we have Hourglass, so we're at 1 health. And metal decreases my crit chance. So I guess I'll take the eye patch over the metal here. And then I'm going to roll. Our weapons shoot faster than the ball and chain already, so let's re-roll here. We'll lock Railgun. Do I want a cursed metal detector just for the last wave? I guess 10 luck helps with our damage output as well, with our 4 baby elephants and our pearl, so we will lock that. Alright, I'm going to run away from the elite until we get at least a couple consumables, because then I can survive 1 hit from it. And with jerky and everything, oops, I had a lucky dodge there again. With jerky and everything, we should be able to heal back up to full pretty quickly, so the hourglass ended up very good here. And hourglass is really nice because it gives you a huge economy boost if you survive it by giving you an extra level's worth of resources. As well as, in this case, an extra red item. Which is very important because I am pretty concerned about the boss fight. The bosses are pretty hard with Railgun, because usually your goal is to kill them really quickly. But Railgun, obviously, the damage is lower at the start of waves. We'll take a bone dice here. Bloody Hand, you can just never take on Railgun, because it's going to reset your damage over and over again. Now, this Cursed Bloody Hand is worth 80% bonus damage, so it might still be okay. Hang on. So with the Railgun, we gain +5 base damage, which gets multiplied by 50%, because we have 50% bonus damage, every 5 seconds until the end of the wave, which resets when we take damage. Now, obviously, +5 base damage is a lot, going up to like at 7.5 damage per second. On the other hand, the Bloody Hand will start me just with 80% more damage output right from the beginning, and it's cursed. So I think it's actually better, because we're just going to kill the bosses quickly now, and we'll just take as much damage as we can get to try to kill the bosses as fast as possible, relying on the base damage of our weapons. So I think that's a really weird setup where we're deleting the power of our railguns in order to just make them better default weapons to kill the bosses faster. Just because Bloody Hand is such a ridiculous weapon, or a ridiculous item, especially when cursed. My initial reaction was, obviously we can't take that, but when I actually looked at the numbers, we're all, like, let's say we had charged up our weapons up to full value. We would, at this point, be doing more damage than we would just with the Bloody Hand, with the railgun charge. But are we likely to make it 40 seconds into the boss wave? I think not. I think we're going to kill the bosses much faster. And I'm not that worried about this wave. I'm worried about the boss wave. We're going to kill the bosses much faster because we have Bloody Hand. So a really a weird thing there, but a cool change in strategy right at the end game. And, you know, we were lucky. 777 materials. I guess I'll take the turret just for the 1 regen, and here I'll take more dodge. We now have a bunch of % damage, a bunch of attack speed, so increasing the base damage of our weapons is the most important. We'll combine, because the higher level cursed railgun is going to be better. And then, alright, we get a leveled up cursed railgun, so let's combine here and buy this. And then, do I want the Terrified Onion or the Pencil? I think we can do better, and we can, so let's get 2 level 4 cursed railguns. Spyglass or Insanity would both have been fine. I'm also going to reroll here in the hopes of our bone dice doing something. All they did was cost me an HP, but wow, our 2 bone dice were awful in this run, by the way. But let's go ahead and see if we can kill the bosses quickly, thanks to Bloody Hand. Actually, doesn't matter if I take a hit from the bosses at this point either, because we're not losing our damage bonus, though I do, of course, still need to not take so much damage that we die. As I walk into every single attack. Alright, let's heal back to full with that red crate. So very badly played boss fight. But I'm now really glad that I had the Bloody Hand, because if I was going to play that boss fight that badly and walk into every attack, I would much rather have just the normal amount of damage. So that went very well there. looking at and was a really weird and interesting run. Looking at our items, the baby elephants dealt 73k damage, which wasn't incredible, obviously. That's not amazing, but it is still, they did still help clear, especially the middle waves, which are the most difficult waves. So I do think that the luck-based damage stuff did work out, even if it was a weird digression from how that character would usually work. Getting an early gentle alien was excellent. That helped fix our economy. The early propeller hat was nice as well. Early bean teacher got us to level 25, which is obviously great also. Let's see, the fairy was okay. I think we probably could have passed on the fairy. The fishhook did literal nothing. So that's pretty funny. Hunting trophy for 329 materials. The pile of books just giving us extra hunting trophy money was really nice. Bone dice were embarrassingly bad. Basically everything that relied on a percent chance in this run was embarrassingly bad. Fishhook and bone dice. I accidentally didn't buy the silver bullet for the first elite wave, but it was still, of course, good later on. And the bloody hand purchase worked out very well. I think, given that I walked into a lot of attacks, I'd have definitely lost the boss wave if I hadn't had this, but it carried me through the boss wave, so helped prevent my own bad play from costing me the run. All right, my friends, hope that you've enjoyed this run, and of course, if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do this. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.